can't believe it! Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is! And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus! Am I that hated? Ahem. Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did? Psst, psst. But I ain't nothing but a little old nobody, you know? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Hey, pal! You're gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence. Detective Gumshoe! Ugh, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? We've got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, detective? Well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it? Here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yup, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later. Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in Corp up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me. I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. What did he mean by that? The very end part? I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Ah! Don't scare me like that! It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy, so hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me? Aw, so they do care. At the very least, Regina cares. Though I'm willing to bet that Mo also probably pulled some strings. Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony. Finally, we get the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Oh. Phoenix is just as nervous. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. And that's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. That was very fast. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem. You're absolutely right. How would anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Okay, so do I have it? I do. Bat's scarf, stained with his blood and a small quantity of pepper. Okay, so it's stained with Bat's blood. Okay, but I do think it's what I thought of last time. It wasn't so much that he held a grudge against Russell. It's essentially to get back at Regina for taking Bat away from him, technically speaking. It was to essentially make her feel like he felt. That's my thought process. But of course, we're going to cross-examine. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenixite. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness. The question is, what exactly are we going to learn from this? We were a little abandoned by our parents. That's when Russell took them in. He was 9. Yeah, there's nothing really that present that would bring any sort of contradiction. There may not actually be anything here. But we're gonna press everything. We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old, and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the Berry Big Circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. Ow! No crying in court! Let's keep going. The witness may proceed with his testimony. Okay, that's when Russell took them in. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about the other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know. He seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult. So then how long have you been a performer? Okay, I became an acrobat at around 9 years old, so it was about a year after Russell took them in. You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. And that's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dingling Berries. Oh god! You might need to workshop that name a little bit more. It's nearly a household name. I've even heard of them in Germany. Liar! The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus. You're truly a remarkable young man. The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Alright, that leaves the last one. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenixite? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenixite. You better think hard. Ow! Ow! No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. I hate to say it, but I agree with them. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk. I think that'll be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely. Exactly right, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honor. I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead? Regina! Now that I've come this far, there's no way I could answer, no, I can't. Oh, this is going to be good. Very well, then please enlighten the court. Let's see some evidence that proves Acro's motive for killing the ringmaster. The scarf. It's gonna be a long-winded theory, but... Or... proves Acro's motive. Is it the scarf or the note? I think this might be the note. I think it's too early for the scarf. Evidence that proves Acro's motive. The scarf is what's ultimately the answer, but we can't tie that to this at this point. So I think it's the note, because we know that Acro placed the note for Regina. The ringmaster tore it down and had the other half of this note in his pocket. So I'll go with the note, and hopefully we can go from there. I mean, if it's not the note, then it's the scarf. And if it's not the scarf, then it's the pepper. If I have to get that far, then I'm reloading the save. In fact, actually... Oh, wait, I can't do that now because I'm displaying evidence. Shoot. Okay, well, let's try the note at the very least.
Take that!
Let me just go over this one more time. This is why Acro killed the ringmaster? That is correct. I don't think the defense would mind confirming something for me. What exactly are we supposed to learn from this piece of evidence? Yeah, I got it wrong. What are you supposed to learn? Looks like you just won a reward for biggest failure in court. Ouch, biggest failure in court? That stings. In recognition of your honor, let me bestow upon you my special prize. Okay. The fact that it's giving me an option. I hate it when the game does this. But the fact that they are giving me an option... I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, there is the scarf, but again, that's a completely different thing. I'm gonna try give up, and if it leads to an auto game over, then we know we gotta do something. At the very least, we've got a little bit of evidence there. By that, I mean, it's not the note. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow! Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish foolers is so full-heartedly foolish. Did you forget? You made the accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Berry, Ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things? Acro, you didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? He was trying to kill Regina the whole time! Oh my god, that's so much worse! The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What? Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face, twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ow! Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to this court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Regina. Regina Berry? This young girl is the Ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? Objection! You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. Objection! He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is, you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself! Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright! Show me evidence, now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. Yes, me too! I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl. The scarf. The note shows intent. Oh. Or is it the note? The scarf is his motive to do so, but the note shows that he was out to kill Regina that night. Acro put that note in for Regina for her to get to, for her to be there. So this is still with Russell's death, not with what happened to his brother. So it's gotta be the note now. Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the Ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the victim's tailcoat? Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note? Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the Ringmaster. You mean, it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order! 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 Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the Ringmaster, saw the note? That's correct. The Ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina. That's incredible. Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was. I've got it! I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza! And that's when he let the bust fly. Hey, Nick? Is Regina listening to all this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Acro wrote this note to Regina. Objection! Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolishly. You're so foolish you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool! Very well, Mr. Phoenix Knight. If you are so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes, what about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Berry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza. In place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note? Incident 6 months ago. I have no idea. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at that time. Moron! Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it! What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. I can't answer that question. The judge is going to think I'm bluffing, and I'm going to make a save state right now. Because I think I know what it is, but I just want to be sure. Alright, I'll accept the loss in points from before, but yeah, trying to make sure I don't have to go for 10, 15, 20 minutes of repeating stuff just to get back in case I lose. Especially if it's going to be doing 3 like that. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually the pepper bottle. He didn't have the scarf on him at the time. The pepper bottle was found in the box that he lowered. This was what that evidence was. What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Knight? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion! Very well, Mr. Wright, so what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways! If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? Bats. Who is this? That is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead! Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina, she did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Miss Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. So then what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. I see. do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? Yes, it was just an accident. Regina didn't intend to kill Bat. I suppose it was truly an accident. It's essential that a man knows when to give up, Mr. Phoenix Wright. It's impossible to prove Miss Berry's involvement in a murder attempt, isn't it? Instigating a lion to attack. Whoever heard of something like that? And to think that the defense claimed this was conclusive evidence. Ugh. A small bottle of pepper. A lion. What's their connection? I don't know, Phoenix. How about the sneezing fit the judge just had? Ah! What's the matter, Nick? I figured it out! Wow, it was right in front of my nose the entire time! Your Honor, wait! What is it? The lion biting Bat was no accident at all! What? You are such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother, Bat. The scarf. Take that! That's just a scarf. Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina? There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. Pepper? Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident. And she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Phoenix, I think you might be a little bit off there. Hey, what's with the silent treatment?